Now, when you look at what's happening in the earth today, all right, of late, everyone has their eyes on the World Economic Forum, you see, which is the elites of the world gathering, you know, under one of many of their groups and names to plan the future for their new world. Okay, bringing in a new way, their fourth industrial revolution, which is ultimately the Tower of Babel all over again.
You will own nothing. And you will be happy.
The World Economic Forum is pushing for a global ID by 2026, fueled by blaming the average citizen for their carbon footprint.
Why is the World Economic Forum bothering with digital identity? Why are we looking into it? Why is it such an important topic for us?
How we construct and use digital identities would determine how people are represented online, what opportunities they have access to, what or who is trusted online.
So it's also a very important tool for financial inclusion.
It's a starting point where a number of actors, you know, from the international development community and the private sector and everything in between have started to come together to think about what principles should be governing the use of these systems.
Why would the Most High allow the earth to come to this destroyed state? You see? And why are these devils boasting in such wicked plans? Okay, even to bring in the charagma, which is the microchip.
And what it is, as far as the MOTB is concerned, it's the whole system that these devils are introducing to the world, which is a digital system. You know, and you brothers and few sisters that have been watching, you know that we've been speaking about this digital system for quite a while. It can't be hidden anymore. It's out in the open. It's so out there in the open, you know, the evidence is overwhelming, you know. So with this whole system that they have set up, this digital currency, you know, and they're pushing, this is what's that's the cause. And what's the effect or the result is everyone on the planet being sea-hipped. That's their goal. And even Aaron Russo, before he passed away, he had an interview with Alex Jones, called him Bones, and pretty much he brought that out. He said that Nick Rockefeller told him that they want everyone sea-hipped, and if you don't play by the rules, you get shut out. They turn the chip off, and guess what? You are relegated to what? To either groveling to them, or you starve.
The ultimate goal that these people have in mind is the goal to create a one world government run by the banking industry, run by the bankers, right? There'll be no more cash. And this is getting me straight from Rockefeller himself. This is what they want to accomplish. And all money will be in your chips. And if you're like me or you, and you're protesting what they're doing, they can just turn off your chip. And you have nothing. You can't buy food. You can't do anything. It's total control of the people.
And that chip's connected to a database that has your purchasing records, what you do, what
everything,
you sell.
Everything is in there.
If the mark of God, the seal of God is the law, what is the mark of the beast?
Sin.
Oh, very good. Thank you. I thought you were going to say something else. I thought he was going to come out with a microchip. I said, if this guy comes out with a damn microchip. Now, I'm going to clear that up, because we went over last week about digital currency, and, you know, Esau has plan A, B, and C. They might throw a microchip out there, but that's not the mark of the beast. Sin is the mark of the beast.
Yes, there are secret societies. Yes, there have been oligarchies throughout history. And yes, today in 2002, there is a tyrannical organization calling itself the New World Order, pushing for worldwide government, a cashless society, open borders, total and complete tyranny. And by creating open borders where there's no national sovereignty and only global bodies that control all the resources, by centralizing and socializing healthcare, the state becomes God, basically, when it comes to your health. And then by releasing diseases and viruses and plagues upon us, we then basically get shoved into their system.
The goal was never
to put an old senile puppet into the presidency to run havoc. The goal was to create a cashless society. And so while bringing Joe Biden to justice may feel like a victory, the tyrants are still getting exactly what they wanted. And once it's all said and done, then who will save you?
And if you're like me or you, and you're protesting what they're doing, they can just turn off your chip. And you have nothing. You can't buy food, you can't do anything.
And the title of this session, are we ready for a new world order?
With all the current issues on our agenda, we tend to forget that we are in the midst of the fourth industrial revolution, which accelerates global change in much more comprehensive and faster ways than the previous three revolutions. I'm proud that the government of Dubai has been so foresighted in establishing a Center for the Fourth Industrial Revolution in cooperation with the World Economic Forum. The objective is to quickly recognize the potential of new technologies, as well as develop the necessary ethical and political frameworks around those new technologies to ensure that those technologies are human-centered and society-oriented.
What underpins a world order is always the financial system. And what we're seeing in the world today, I think, is we are on the brink of a dramatic change where we are about to, and I'll say this boldly, we're about to abandon the traditional system of money and accounting and introduce a new one. And the new one, the new accounting, is what we call blockchain. It means digital. It means having a almost perfect record of every single transaction that happens in the economy, which will give us far greater clarity over what's going on. It also raises huge dangers in terms of the balance of power between states and citizens. In my opinion, we're going to need a digital constitution of human rights if we're going to have digital money. But also, this new money will be sovereign in nature. Most people think that digital money is crypto and private, but what I see are superpowers introducing digital currency. The Chinese were the first. The US is on the brink, I think, of moving in the same direction. The Europeans have committed to that as well. And the question is, will that new system of digital money and digital accounting accommodate the competing needs of the citizens of all these locations so that every human being has a chance to have a better life? Because that's the only measure of whether a world order really serves.
In November of 2019, right before the Institute of Politics at Harvard Kennedy School had a live tabletop exercise called Digital Currency Wars, which looked at how the United States can continue to leverage economic power in a world of national digital currencies, such as the Chinese digital yuan, which is already heavily competing in trade against the US dollar and seems to be at the forefront of centralized digital currencies. And it has an expiry date. If you don't spend it by then, it becomes worthless, so people can no longer save money. The Bank of International Settlements has announced that the central bank will have absolute control on the rules and regulations and will have technologies to enforce it. The Central Bank of Brazil is planning to launch their centralized digital currency in 2024. Israel is about to launch theirs, and the Bank of England is now preparing a UK digital currency. Italy's new Prime Minister, Meloni, is speaking out against the cashless society, but she seems to stand alone on the world stage. In the Federal Reserve's digital currency scheme, it appears that Hedera and Quant will be used on the technology side. They are already connected to everything. The cashless society is here.
What it is, as far as the MOTB is concerned, it's the whole system that these devils are introducing to the world, which is a digital system.